Viewers, the latest news about Ethiopia, Amhara, and Tigray region is that there was many reports coming that from Tigray region, Ethiopian Air Force targets the city of Almata, Tigray for the second day in a row, targeting a hospital and stadium, and dozens civilians casualties were reported. And yesterday, 28 civilians were killed immediately and 76 others were critically injured. Because, on the other hand, the United States is again deeply concerned about the escalating crisis in Ethiopia and widespread human rights abuses committed by all parties to the conflict. United States is deeply concerned for over a year, but yet no action. They said that we condemn the use of starvation as a weapon of war, which the Ethiopian government has reportedly done by blocking humanitarian access and detaining tens of thousands of ethnic Tigrayans under life threatening conditions. And we also condemn the Tigray People's Liberation Front's human rights abuses, including killing and raping civilians. And we are profoundly worried by reports Amhara forces are systematically killing Tigrayans in western Tigray. And finally, we condemn Eritrean forces' human rights abuses in Ethiopia. Because the United States urges the creation of a mechanism to investigate, report on, and collect and preserve evidence of all violations and abuses by the parties to the conflict, and we call for the parties to end hostilities, enable unhindered humanitarian access, enter negotiations without preconditions, and refrain from inflammatory rhetoric and respect human rights. Because the Ethiopian government to release all civilians and allow international monitors timely access to detains, and those responsible for violations and abuses to be held accountable. Because this is the only report that had been heard for the last 1 year, but no action has been taken so far. Because on the other hand, Ethiopian ambassador to Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, and Romania, permanent representative to the United Nations office at Geneva, and other international organizations in Switzerland, addressing the 33rd special session of United Nations Human Rights Council on Friday, said that Ethiopia will not cooperate with any mechanism that may be imposed on it. And His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, his appeal to the League of Nations could not convince multilateralism to end the Italian aggression, and history repeats itself today. 85 years later, here is Geneva. Ethiopia is once again defending its sovereignty and territorial integrity, this time from internal aggression. And Ambassador Zenebek Bedi said, our commitment to multilateralism is not helping us to defend our country. And multilateralism, after all these years, is once again being hijacked by a neo-colonialist mentality, and Ethiopia is being targeted and singled out at the Human Rights Council for defending a democratically elected government, the peace and the future of its people, he underlined. Whereas, on the other hand, in late October, Ethiopian media outlets relayed several false and incendiary allegations against the International Crisis Group senior analyst for Ethiopia, William Davison, including that he works for the US government and for the Tigray People's Liberation Front, as well as that he aims to defame Ethiopia's military. Well, he said, we wrote privately to both the Ethiopian satellite television and radio network and the Ethiopian press agency, asking for retractions of these stories, as neither ESAT nor EPA has responded to our letters. We are issuing this statement to correct the record. They said for more than 25 years, Crisis Group has been among the world's preeminent non-governmental organizations working to prevent and mitigate deadly conflict, to understand and analyze the dynamic and actors that may fuel conflict. And we talk to all sides but represent none. We conduct our research and publish our analyses and recommendations in the open. And our single goal is to help all sides better understand how deadly conflict may be avoided or mitigated and take steps toward those ends. And Mr. Davison's work on Ethiopia follows this path. As a leading expert on the deteriorating situation in northern Ethiopia, Mr. Davison has equally sought to understand how the government and non state groups could reduce tensions and the violent impact such tensions have had on civilians. And allegations that Mr. Davison represents or works for any other interest or simply false. And the International Crisis Group remains firmly committed to working to end the war in northern Ethiopia as well as conflicts elsewhere in the country. Viewers, and today, press statement is released by the Tigray government on the recent air bombardment of Almata town, Tigray. According to the statement, on 16th December, means yesterday, the government of Ethiopia has carried out 6 rounds of bombings with jets and drones at a marketplace of the city of Almata. As a result, of 28 people are killed and 76 others are wounded so far. It is to be recalled that at the same city, a private owned hotel was also bombed on the night of 15 December 2021 and destroying multiple stories of the hotel building and wounding civilians. And this is happening while the UN Human Rights Council is holding a special session on the fast deteriorating human rights situation in Ethiopia. Since November 2020, airstrikes targeting Tigray towns and villages with consequent heavy civilian casualties has become the daily experiences of Tigray people. Residential places, farm fields, and strategic infrastructure, including the Tkeze hydroelectric power plant, are not separated by these vicious attacks, and the regime in Addis has once more proved that it has no respect to international humanitarian law and international public opinion. Because the national region government of Tigray once again calls up on the international community to assume its responsibility and put enough pressure on the government of Ethiopia and its international sponsors to refrain from attacking civilian targets and non combatants and respect international humanitarian law and laws of war. To condemn such coward intervene beyond words and not fall the people of Tigray. Viewers, and today, once again, in a row, in a second day, once again, Ethiopian Air Force target the city of Almata, especially a hospital and stadium, and dozens of civilians' casualties were reported. So, viewers, so far the latest update. For more latest update, please subscribe channel. Thanks for watching.